Hey everyone, this is Remy from BJJ Experience. Today, the topic will be slightly different to what I normally do. So, being a BJJ practitioner, uh, quite often I think that we should embrace Brazilian culture a little bit more. So, we might do it by trying Brazilian Portuguese food a little bit, but definitely maybe learning several phrases that, in my opinion, are quite important in the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So what I put together is a number of phrases and words in Portuguese which directly relate to Jiu-Jitsu. And I think everyone who practices Jiu-Jitsu should at least try and research a little bit and get to know these words. I'll try and be as good as I can with pronunciation. So if I butcher anything, please forgive me. Uh, so let's go. I'll have 10 phrases and then 11th, which is slightly dirty. So I left it for the last word. Cool. So the first three words are really important from the perspective of competition. So when you compete in IBJJF, the ref will only use Portuguese phrases rather than English or any other language. Okay, so it's quite important we know these. Okay, so we're going to start with the word Paru or Parou, which means stop. So basically, when the fight goes out of the matted area, or there is something that puts one of the competitors in danger, the ref will say Paru or Parou. Okay. Next one is Combate or Combatchey, which means fight. So rather than fight, you'll hear Combate or Combatchey, which means that you can start fighting, or when it's stopped, you can restart the match. Next one, it's also quite often used, and that's the word Lute or Lutchey. Okay, even though it's used when someone is stalling, and it basically means that you're penalized for not being active during the match, Lute doesn't mean warning of you're being penalized. Lute means carry on fighting. So it encourages you to progress to another position and carry on fighting. So that's Lute or Lutchey. The next one is really cool. When I found out about it, I was like, whoa, this is amazing, which is the Portuguese way of describing side control. I don't know whether you've heard it, but in Brazilian, side control is Sem Keelows, which means 100 kilograms. And obviously, you can refer to side control as side control or side mount, but it's Sem Keelows, which means 100 kilograms. In other words, when you're in side control, you have to apply so much pressure on your partner who's on the bottom that they feel like you weigh 100 kilograms. And you know how we do it, by distributing weight, blah, blah, driving into them. But yes, Sem Keelows. Brilliant. Next one will be Bora. Bora. Or, if you want to emphasize this a little bit, Vamo Bora, which means basically, let's go. So when you start a fight, start a match, start a roll with your partner, and you want to have a little bit of fun, you can tell him, Bora, Bora, Paul, Bora, Bruno, let's go. Let's fucking go. Okay, awesome. Next one will be something that all of you should know, and that's Mataleo. Mataleo, which directly translated to kill the lion. Sometimes it's translated as the lion killer, but I believe it means kill the lion, and that's rear naked choke. Mataleo. So the next one is quite close to my club, because the name of my club is Gracie Barra Bradley Stoke. And quite often people ask me, what does the word BAH-hah mean, and why do you pronounce it with BAH-hah rather than Bora? So BAH-hah comes from an area close to, well, as part of Rio de Janeiro, where Carlos Gracie Jr. opened his first school. Okay, the area is called, let me just double check, it's called Barra da Tijuca. So that's where the first Gracie Barra school was opened. And it's a really important piece of information for someone who is a member of Gracie Barra school. We have hundreds of schools across the world, and it's quite important piece of historical information. Okay, it's important you know it. So Barra da Tijuca is a place where the first Gracie Barra school was opened. Next one, Porha. Porha means good. So when your Brazilian Portuguese coach, after you demonstrated your technique, says Porha, you have to be quite happy because it's a huge compliment. Porha. Okay. Next one is actually geographically close to where I am, southwest of Great Britain, because the next word is Tatami. So Tatami in Portuguese. In English, it means matted area in martial arts or mats. The reason it's quite close geographically to where I am is because the clothing company Tatami, is based in South Wales. But that's a cool name for a clothing company, isn't it? Tatami, matted area. Brilliant. And the last one, before I go to a slightly rude word, is Pohhada. Pohhada. And that means hard beating. It can also be referred to a very hard sparring session, very hard rolling. So we're going to have a very intense Pohhada later tonight. So finally, we've gone through all of my 10 Portuguese phrases that you can use when you spar, when you just chat with your friends, or just, brag. Listen, I know this word in Portuguese. And the last one that I want to share with you is, it's a rude word. You pronounce it Pohha. Pohha. And I was told that it could mean a very sort of soft swear word as damn. So when someone manages to pass your guard and you get angry at it and upset with them, you can say Pohha. But it could also be translated as the F word. So be careful if you have kids around who potentially could understand Portuguese. Do not use this word. But if it's just adults, and especially when the person you roll with knows a little bit of Portuguese, you can say Porha. Porha. Okay, brilliant. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope you've learned a little bit from it. If anything, this is a little bit of fun. And at least now you know Tatami comes from this. Porha means this. Porhada means this. Mataleo, Sem Keelows, etc., etc. And definitely remember Paru, Lutchey, and Combate as well when you're competing. Stay safe. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Take care.